Welcome back to my YouTube channel, collectors and coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that could turn your pocket change into something worth a small fortune. We're talking about the 1983 1-cent coin, the humble penny with an unexpected twist. While pennies may seem insignificant, certain years, mint marks, and even specific characteristics can make them incredibly valuable. So, what makes the 1983 1-cent coin so special, and could it be worth millions? Stick around as we explore its history, why it's worth big money, and the mind-blowing valuation of $555 million. First, let's take a quick trip back in time. The U.S. Mint has been producing coins since 1792, and over the years, many different types of pennies have been struck, each with its own unique characteristics. By 1983, the United States was facing some economic challenges, including inflation, and changes were being made to reduce the cost of coin production. In 1982, a significant change was made to the composition of the penny. For most of U.S. history, pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, rising copper prices led to the decision to reduce the amount of copper used in pennies, and by 1983, they were primarily made of zinc, with only a thin copper coating. As a result, the 1983 penny was a new type of coin in terms of composition, with a core of zinc and a copper-plated exterior. This change caused some controversy, but the new penny began circulating widely. But there's something about the 1983 penny, minted in Denver, that has sparked the attention of collectors. You see, in addition to the composition change, some 1983 pennies were produced with a minting error that could make them worth a lot more than their face value of just 1 cent. Now, let's get to the heart of the mystery. What exactly makes the 1983 penny so valuable? The answer lies in a rare error involving the copper coating process. Some 1983 pennies were accidentally struck with a flawed copper plating, which led to an odd coloration and irregularities in the finish of the coin. In rare cases, these pennies were made with an improper copper coating that left the zinc core exposed or created visible flaws. These unusual imperfections make certain 1983 pennies highly sought after in the numismatic world. These misstruck pennies don't just sit in the pockets of everyday people, they end up in the hands of collectors, who are willing to pay big money for them. In fact, one such penny sold for a staggering amount. A report from recent years indicated that a 1983 copper penny could be valued at up to $555 million, but that's only under the most rare and unique circumstances. Now, before you start searching through your piggy bank for one of these rare coins, it's important to note that only a very small number of these pennies exist. The condition of the coin and the type of error present will drastically affect its value. Most 1983 pennies will still only fetch a small amount, likely just a few cents or a couple of dollars in some cases. But let's talk about the coin's real worth. How does something as simple as a penny end up worth so much? Well, the world of coin collecting operates on supply and demand. The rarer the coin, and the more coveted it becomes by collectors, the higher the price. Coins that are in excellent condition, or those with significant errors like the 1983 copper-plated ones, are considered key dates in the world of numismatics. These rare finds are incredibly hard to come by, and that's why they can fetch such high prices at auction. One of the reasons collectors go after these pennies is because they represent a snapshot of history, an error that was made during the production process that has become so rare that it could change someone's life. Just imagine finding one of these pennies in your pocket, thinking it's just an ordinary coin, and then realizing it could be worth millions. And for those of you who are wondering if you can check your own pennies for these rare misstrikes, here's the key. You want to look for certain characteristics. The key error is the improper copper coating, which is often visible when you examine the coin under magnification. Look for any visible unevenness in the coating or any exposed zinc underneath. If you happen to find one, you might want to get it professionally appraised to verify its authenticity. Now, this brings us to the question, is there really a 1983 D penny worth $555 million? While the figure sounds unbelievable, it's worth noting that there have been cases of rare coins, including some pennies, selling for millions. But keep in mind, $555 million would be the absolute upper end, and such a price would depend on factors like condition, rarity, and demand from high-end collectors. To sum up, the 1983 D penny is a coin with both historical significance and the potential for huge monetary value, thanks to its unique error involving the copper plating. While most 1983 D pennies are worth just 1 cent, the rare errors that occur during minting could turn this simple coin into a valuable treasure. So, if you've got a 1983 D penny lying around, it might just be time to take a closer look. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos about coins and collectibles. Who knows, your next find might just make you a millionaire. Next, 2009 1 cent USA coin. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that may look unassuming at first glance but could potentially be worth a whopping $59 million. You heard that right, a penny, from 2009. So, what makes this penny so special? Let's uncover its history, its rarity, and why it's worth more than just the face value of 1 cent. At first, it seems like any regular penny. It's a 2009 D 1 cent coin, minted in Denver, in the United States. We see the classic Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the shield on the reverse. But this one is far from ordinary. So, why does this little coin carry such a huge price tag? Before we dive into this specific 2009 penny, let's talk about the US penny itself. The penny, or 1 cent coin, has been in circulation for over 200 years. Since 1909, it's featured President Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the design changing a few times. But today, we're going to focus on one specific year, 2009. In 2009, the U.S. Mint decided to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. To commemorate this milestone, they released 4 different reverse designs throughout the year. Each one depicted a different stage in Lincoln's life, from his early childhood in a log cabin to his presidency and the legacy he left behind. These coins are all part of the Lincoln Bicentennial series, and as you can imagine, many collectors were excited to get their hands on them. The 2009 pennies had a bit more significance than just being regular change. But here's where the story takes an interesting twist. This particular coin, the 2009 D penny, was minted at the Denver Mint. But here's the twist: while most 2009 D pennies aren't worth much more than face value, a handful of them are worth a small fortune. How can a penny be worth so much? Let's dig deeper. The Denver Mint is one of the most important coin-producing facilities in the U.S. But sometimes, things don't go exactly as planned. In 2009, due to a series of errors, some of these pennies were struck in a way that makes them incredibly rare today. These are the pennies that have some minting flaws, such as double dies or other unique characteristics, which make them worth much more than their face value. One of the most sought-after errors from the 2009 D series is the double die penny. A double die occurs when the coin die that strikes the coin has a double image, resulting in the design appearing more than once. These errors are incredibly rare, and because of this, they are worth a lot more than regular pennies. If you take a close look at some of these 2009 D pennies, you'll notice that the date, the inscriptions, and sometimes even Lincoln's portrait itself can appear to have a slight, double image. These subtle errors can turn a typical penny into something much more valuable. Now, here's where the fun begins. Some of these rare, error-filled 2009 D pennies have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. The most famous one? A 2009 D double die penny that sold for over $59 million. Yes, you heard me correctly, $59 million for a single penny. But how is this even possible? How can a simple penny from 2009 be worth that much? Well, the coin in question is an extremely rare example of a double die error, and it has caught the attention of collectors, numismatists, and investors around the world. It's all about rarity and condition. A penny from 2009 may seem ordinary, but a rare error can drastically increase its value. For collectors, finding a coin like this is like finding a diamond in the rough. The 2009 double die penny with the right characteristics could go for a fortune at auction. Coin grading is crucial when determining the value of a coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 2009 double die penny with a high grade can fetch a significant price, with collectors willing to pay top dollar for a well-preserved example. So, what should you look for in your own change? The first thing to do is check for any signs of a double die error. Look closely at the date, the inscriptions, and Lincoln's image. If the design looks like it has more than one impression, you might have a rare find on your hands. While it's highly unlikely you'll stumble upon a $59 million penny in your pocket change, it's always worth inspecting your coins. After all, there are tons of valuable coins out there, from rare pennies to silver dimes, that could be hiding right under your nose. But remember, not all 2009 pennies are worth that kind of money. In fact, most of them are worth only a few cents above face value. The ones that are worth big money are rare errors, and even then, they must be in good condition. Coin collecting is a hobby that can also turn into a great investment. While a penny may seem insignificant, coins with history, rarity, and unique errors can skyrocket in value. The 2009 double die penny is a perfect example of how something as simple as a 1-cent coin can become a collector's dream. So, next time you see a 2009 penny in your pocket, don't just toss it aside. Take a close look, you might just have a rare and valuable piece of history in your hands. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more amazing stories from the world of coin collecting. Until next time, happy hunting. Last 1981 1-cent USA coin today, we've got a fascinating story for you. We're going to talk about a coin that you've probably seen many times in your pocket change, the 1981 US 1-cent coin. Sounds ordinary, right? Well, it's far from it. Some of these pennies are worth an astonishing $217 million. Yep, you heard that correctly, $217 million. So, what makes this penny so special? Stick with us, and we'll reveal the secrets behind this coin's incredible value. Here it is, the 1981 US 1-cent coin. A regular penny, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat design on the reverse. At first glance, it may seem like any other penny, but there's a catch. Not all 1981 pennies are created equal. Let's find out why. The US 1-cent coin has been in circulation for centuries, with numerous changes to its design throughout the years. Since 1909, the penny has featured Abraham Lincoln's portrait, and it's been a fixture of American currency ever since. But in 1981, something happened that would make these pennies different from the rest. In 1981, the US Mint was still producing pennies using the same designs from previous decades. However, a number of factors contributed to making the 1981 1-cent coin a potential treasure for coin collectors, especially when it comes to rare and highly valuable errors. You see, in the world of coin collecting, what often makes a coin more valuable than its face value is rarity and condition. Some coins have subtle defects, errors in minting, or unique characteristics that turn them from simple change into highly sought-after collector's items. And that's where our story takes a fascinating turn. So, what happened with the 1981 penny? Well, in that year, there were several key minting errors that made certain pennies incredibly rare and valuable. The most famous of these is the 1981 penny that was struck with a double die error. A double die occurs when the die that strikes the coin has a slight misalignment, which causes the design to appear twice, slightly offset. In some cases, these double die errors are extremely subtle, but in others, the effect can be much more pronounced. And it turns out that a small number of 1981 pennies were struck with this rare and valuable error. Double die errors can make a coin highly desirable for collectors, and they drastically increase its value. The 1981 penny with a double die error, especially one that's well preserved, is incredibly rare, and that rarity is what drives its high value. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While most 1981 double die pennies are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, a small handful of these coins are believed to be worth far, far more. In fact, one 1981 penny with an extremely rare and pronounced double die error was recently appraised at an eye-popping $217 million. How is this even possible? Well, it all comes down to a perfect storm of factors. Not only is the double die error incredibly rare, but this particular penny was in pristine condition, with very few signs of wear and tear. And, as any serious coin collector knows, condition is everything when it comes to the value of a coin. In the world of numismatics, or coin collecting, grading is essential. Coins are evaluated based on their physical condition, which is typically graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A perfect coin, with no flaws or signs of wear, scores a 70. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 1981 penny with a double die error, especially if it's in mint condition, could easily fetch millions at auction. Just think about it, when rare and perfect condition coins go to auction, bidders from around the world will fight tooth and nail to get their hands on them. The rarity of a coin like this, combined with its historical significance and flawless appearance, drives its price to stratospheric heights. But what makes the 1981 penny with a double die error so unique? Well, it's all about the way the mistake happened. The U.S. Mint typically has quality control procedures in place to prevent errors like this from happening. But every now and then, a rare mistake slips through the cracks, and these mistakes become the most valuable coins in the world. So, how can you tell if you found one of these rare, valuable 1981 pennies? It's all about paying attention to the details. The most noticeable feature of a double die penny is the doubled design. Look carefully at the date, the Liberty inscription, and Lincoln's portrait. If you notice any doubling or extra impressions, that could be a telltale sign of an error coin. The error is typically most obvious around the date and the lettering, and the more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable the penny becomes. But of course, condition matters. If the coin is heavily worn, the value can drop significantly. But if you happen to find one of these rare error pennies in mint condition, you could be holding a true treasure. Now, while it's extremely rare to find one of these valuable 1981 pennies in your change, it's not impossible. If you're a collector or just someone who enjoys coin hunting, it's worth checking through your pennies. You never know when you might stumble across something worth millions. Coin collecting has been a popular hobby for centuries, and it's also a way to invest in history. A coin like the 1981 double die penny can represent more than just currency. It's a piece of history, a rare mistake, and a potential goldmine. While most of us will never find a $217 million penny, there are still plenty of other rare coins out there that could turn your collection into something truly valuable. So, what do you think? Is the 1981 1-cent coin just another penny, or could it be worth a fortune? If you find one of these rare double die pennies, make sure to get it professionally graded. It might just change your life. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating coin stories. Until next time, happy hunting and happy collecting.